Lynda returns in quote form at the end of this presentation.
We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to quickly go through the rest of this. These are the different sections of VLA: academic, public library, school library, and special library. And I'm going to talk about the Youth Services Forum briefly. Oh, they're also meeting at 5 today also, if you look in your program. They serve the public and school library communities and manages to get the two together, so that's pretty amazing. They sponsor the Jefferson Cup Award, which we heard about this morning. The premier award for historical books for children in Virginia. Sponsors training and other activities. And if you are interested in getting involved, we have a contact of Jennifer Schultz, and she's the chair this year. Ideally, they would like to have 2 representatives from every region on this committee. That's what they would like to shoot for. It meets 4 times a year, so it's not a huge time commitment. And usually I think they usually meet in Charlottesville like before or after council. That's usually what they do. And here again, we have the contact information for Jennifer, who's the current chair, and the past chair, Sasha Matthews.
Now you may have noticed as we've been going and we've showed sections and the forums, and there's quite a few that we didn't say anything about. This does go to one thing about VLA. It is as active as its members are. And in general, if you send somebody an email in business, you get a response pretty quickly. Well, everybody's a volunteer and sometimes it won't happen. So as we were gathering information, we sort of had to make a cut and say, well, if you haven't answered by now to our question about what you've been doing and what opportunities lie ahead in the year, you may not be in the presentation. But the truth is, every one of the forums and every one of the committees really is more active than even the ones we've talked about. We haven't said everything they've been doing. But it is also true that some of the forums in particular may need more help. And some of the forums are doing programs right as we speak. Oral history and genealogy, and one of the other ones are right now. This is a map. One of the other things about VLA, and one of the reasons its structure is impenetrable, is because the state is also divided into regions, and each region has a committee, which go back and forth to council. The chairs are co-chairs. So this is a map. You can find yourself on the map. One of the committees is Region 5 Committee. This is Northern Virginia, or Unreal Virginia as it's known now. And we try and get together. We have very we have public library, school library, and academic library people on it. We try and do things that appeal to our different membership. And we try and, for those of us who go, say if some year nobody's coming from Alexandria or Arlington Public Library, the other public libraries try at least keep in mind, we got to think of those guys some too. What we do is we sponsor an annual spring program every year, which is usually our big program. We've had Sam Clay. This past year was sort of a slightly less technical, professional kind of thing and a little bit more fun. We had a narrator from Recorded Books, CJ Critt, who's very well known. Just a sec. I'll tell you when to go to CJ Critt.
Okay.
So it was kind of cool and different, but we also had very specific roundtable with 4 practitioners on how to do book discussions with different audiences, which was great. In addition, we do fall field trips every year because being in Northern Virginia, there's a lot of really big libraries that you don't get to very often. We're going to the Library of Congress in a couple weeks, or a week. We've also started brown bags, where some librarian comes in and talks to a small group over lunch at one of our meetings, actually 4 times a year. We have a new YouTube channel that basically has last year's spring program on it. Like all the sections, forum, units, whatever, we have a section on the VLA blog that we can post to. And if you've seen the VLA homepage, it's basic content. The first things you read are basically a blog feature. So it's pretty interesting to do that way. And probably one could do a whole session on the VLA website. But I have to keep moving because we're running out of time. Hit it, yeah. So last spring we had this program. Like I said, it was a little different because we had a creator of work instead of practice. And so one of the things we did was we made a YouTube channel, and much of that meeting with CJ Critt, who was the narrator, she narrates the audiobook versions of Janet Ivanovich's novels, among many other things. We put on video and put up on YouTube. The production values are not great, but it is the YouTube generation, so you know. I think our PR person was appalled in Labbé County, but nonetheless. It's VLA Region 5 channel. You can kind of Google it. There's links from the website and stuff like from the VLA website and stuff like that. Yeah, I know. So that's worth looking. And you know, this is our list of the contacts of the regions. If anybody's in Region 4, does anybody remember what Region 4 was? Region 4? I think they need a chair this year. So.
They need people.
That's a way to get involved.
And all the regional committees always need people because it's, you know, some of them are quite geographically diverse and it really is a challenge to have a meeting, but I think that as the years go by, some of this stuff may be done on Facebook or virtual realities of some sort to keep those regions active without having to drive 150 miles for a meeting 4 times a year or 12 times a year or 8 times a year or whatever. Everybody needs help. If you're in the region and you want to contact Marianne and Art in Region 6 or Bob Turner in Region 1, send them an email. Say, hey, what can I help with the region committee? There's stuff that can be done. And you will find that actually, as of right now, Region 3 is doing a presentation as we speak, although theirs is probably already done because they probably kept to the schedule better than we did. Here's a couple quotes. They're in the handout. Lynda, do you want to read your quote? You already did read your quote. It's the sharing of great ideas, common problems, and leads to new insight. And you know, and Matt Todd, who's the current treasurer, said, you know, the thing, it's not, VLA is very unbureaucratic in that sometimes there's a downside because you may send an email to somebody and not get a response for 2 weeks where you'd expect it sooner than that. But most of the time, it's a way to break the bureaucracy and just keep moving on to try and improve things for Virginia librarians. So thanks, we're sorry we took so long. Does anybody have any questions?
You can contact any of us.
Any of us.
Our names are there, but you can probably find us.
Yeah.
And please take chocolate on your way out.
Please take chocolate.
Attorneys and cheese.
You can, basically go to those community interest forums that are back on the table. They can get sent to Lynda Hahn, but I'll give them to you if you want.
We'll take care of
I'll take care of them.
Yeah.
We work here for us.
Please fill out your evaluations. Very important.
She started off.
Thanks again. We appreciate you coming to the conference.
And get involved.